Right, welcome back everybody to the Legit Crypto Lounge, the place that aims to bring together real projects with real investors. I don't normally say this before an AMA starts, but having already spoken to Claude, the CEO of Versity, I'm really excited about exploring what this team are developing and the potential opportunities for us as investors. So Claude, I know we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get straight into it. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself and your team, and then take us through your real world experiences and what that can bring to your project, that'd be great.
Okay, thank you, Mark, first to inviting me. I'm very happy to join this AMA tonight. Thanks every participants in this AMA. Just a few words about me. So I'm Claude. I'm French, but with Chinese origins. I'm the CEO of Versity, but also CEO of the company that owns Versity, which name is Les Agences de Papa. So as the name sounds, it's our company is French. We're based in Nice, southern France. Personally, before joining this company, I used to run in a total different field. I used to run a professional football team where I was a general manager. And before that, I used to work in the finance sector, specialized in merger and acquisitions. So that's basically my background. So sorry for my English, and not as my accent probably tells you, I mostly speak French. So I'm trying to present you our Versity project tonight, and give you some insight and answer all the questions you guys may have.
Yeah, awesome. Your French, your English is a lot better than my French, that's for sure.
Yes. Thank you. So probably I begin with a few words about the company that owns Versity, so Les Agences de Papa. It's a company that is well known in France, but not really probably in the UK or the other parts of the world. So it's Les Agences de Papa is a company that is specialized in digital real estate transactions. So basically, we are a real estate broker, but we really disrupted the market in France by giving a very low transaction fees. To give you an idea, the average transaction fees, that is the fees you paid in order to sell you to the agencies or to the brokers, is on average about 20,000 euros. That's about the same amount in US dollars. We sell your apartment or your flat for 2,000 euros. So that's it was a really game changer for the French real estate transaction market. We did a lot of advertising on TV. We had a lot of media and TV station talk about us. So we are quite known in France, and so basically we digitalized and industrialized the real estate transaction market, so we can offer a very low transaction fees to our clients. So we don't have any agent on the field. We don't have any stores or everything is done through our website and through our service center, and everybody is based in one place here in Nice. So basically that's Les Agences de Papa. So we are quite a young company. We are a little bit more than 2 years old. but we are already listed on the stock market. We are on the Euronext Paris stock market, and we decided quite a long time ago. It was probably we decided to launch the Versity project in beginning of this year, because we've been thinking about this project for quite a long time, and we launched officially this project in January. And the basically idea is that we had a bottleneck selling our apartment. We have thousands of apartments listed all over France, and all the person who called us, they called us because they saw an ad on our website or other real estate portals. And what you have on those ads, it's probably the same in every country. You have pictures from the apartment or the house you have a basic description, you have some technical information, and if you're a potential buyer, well, you need to call the broker, call the real estate agent, and to ask for a visit. And we realized that 90%, more than 90% of those inquiries actually are not good inquiries. That is, people are once they discover, they ask for the visit. When they go to the visit, they realize that it's not the right apartment, or it's not the right house, because they didn't realize, based on the pictures they saw, that the apartment has this kind of things they didn't like. The area the apartment is not the right area, etc., etc. And we are losing a lot of times and a lot of efficiency. And as I mentioned earlier, we are we industrialize the process of real estate agency, so we need to be efficient. And there is a really lack of efficiency in this matter. So the idea behind that, so we imagine a metaverse, and that's Versity. Versity is a metaverse where we will reproduce. We call it. We will do like a mirror of the real world. So instead of having a metaverse which is totally imaginary, our metaverse is basically a 3D reproduction or a virtual reproduction of the real world. And we will list all the apartments from that we have, but also all the professional or the person that would like to sell the properties directly on the metaverse, so they can have I would say a immersive virtual visit of the apartment, but not only the apartment, but also for the surrounding area, the street, so they can have instead of doing a real visit, they will do a virtual visit that is almost the same as the real visit. So that's the basic idea of Versity. And doing that, they will also be able to interact with all the stakeholders of the transaction, that is friends or families, but also the agents, of course, but also the mortgage provider, the insurer, the movers, the interior designer. So they will have a maximum of information. They will also be able even to modify, because it's a virtual reality. They will modify to the decoration of the apartment, so they can project themselves into the other apartment. And once they see that, those persons who are really interested, that is less than 10% of people that used to call us for a visit, will ask for real visit. And instead of having 10, 20 visits, we'll have probably 2-3 visits, but those 2-3 persons are almost ready to buy the apartment. So we will increase the efficiency of the sales. We will decrease the time necessary to do the sale, and it will be a real game changer in a real estate transaction business. And if you go a little bit broader, we will be able to offer all the additional service, the additional service you need to the transfer. We will be all the person, as I mentioned, for the mortgage. They will provide. You will be also able to provide all the services in the metaverse, and even broader, as we will create this metaverse. It will be in the beginning for real estate transaction, but it will in second-hand real estate, but also new project, new developers project, but also renting, also short-term stay like Airbnb, and we can go even broader and not only doing business in a real estate. We can imagine, and we already have we're already having discussions with many different kind of companies that are interesting to have their real store. I mean, their store like supermarket chains into this metaverse, so they can provide services. So the basic idea, if I may, is that we are trying in this project to link the real business in the real world, beginning with real estate, of course, which is the biggest economy of any economy, with the metaverse, and that will, in our point of view, be very, very successful to those companies or those professionals or even those regular person that doesn't know how to use the metaverse. Now we want to link the real economy, and they will have at least a reason to use a metaverse. And finally, we will transform the full industry of we would like to transform the full industry of real estate via this new metaverse. So I mentioned the metaverse, but metaverse is only the first part, I would say brick of our project. We have basically 3 bricks on the project. We have the metaverse, but we also have the NFTs, because basically we want to share the future revenue of this metaverse to all the community. And how we imagine our NFTs. Our NFTs is lens, virtual lens on our metaverse, and as it's our metaverse is a mirror of the reality, we decided to divide our metaverse. We'll begin with France, so people can understand that the way we divide the territory. In France, we have 35,000 postal code. That is every postal code has it's quite important in size, and we will divide on the metaverse for the territory of France NFTs based on the same territory on the postal code in the real world, and we will sell these NFTs to the community, to investors. And when you buy our NFT, we call parcel. When you buy our NFTs, you will be the person who gets the fees that every user will pay when they use the metaverse. I take an example. If you own the 8th arrondissement of Paris, which is a parcel and a postal code as well in the real world, well, every person who wants to lease their apartment, they need to pay a small fees, like how do you say that in English? An ad. So you need to pay a small fees, but the person who will lease the apartment, the professional or some particular person, will not pay to Versity. They will pay to the owner of this parcel. So what we are creating is an NFT that will have a revenue, regular revenue. So the more people are using the Versity, more people are using your parcel, the more you will have revenue and the more value will have your parcel will have. And we'll begin in France for that, and we will progressively increase to other countries. And those parcels, we will. I think it will have more and more parcels to other countries with revenue. So it's not like NFTs. Some you are used to see like a piece of art, for example, where your investment only is linked to the value, the increased value of your NFTs. We have the increased value of NFTs. Of course, you can resell those NFTs, but also you will have a non-stop revenue from the people using the metaverse. So that's the NFT. So and the last brick of the Versity project is our token called City. So our token basically will be the money used in our ecosystem. You probably understood at this point that Versity will be a full ecosystem with people that will do business on it. And the sole money they will use will be the city. So the city will be the money. You can buy NFT with that, but you can also you will need to, if you want I retake my previous example. If you want to list an apartment to sell on Versity, you need to pay the owner of the NFT with cities. So you need cities. If you are a professional, you want to a bank, you want to provide mortgage services to all people who want to buy apartment on Versity, you need to pay the owner of the NFTs you want to provide these services. Well, you pay in City. So City is the basic money, the sole money used on our ecosystem. And for that we already launched an ICO for the cities. That's the first step we done. So we did a first pre-sale round for strategic investors, and we raised about $4.1 million at this pre-sales. And we launched in June Publication, the first round of the Publication. And this first round was quite small. It was during the worst time of the year. It was in the middle of the beer market, and we sold out this first round of a little bit less of $700,000 in a few hours. So it was a success. Then we project to launch the second round of this Publication in September, and we will follow with the third. And we are negotiating currently with some launchpad to do the fourth and the fifth round. We already have an agreement with one launchpad, and we are negotiating with several others to do the fourth and the fifth round of the ICE Publication. We plan to launch the market, the marketplace for the NFTs, and to launch the first sale of NFTs in October or November. It's this period of time. And we plan to launch a beta version of Versity at the end of the year, of this year. So that's the basic, and launch a full version or I mean for France. So we focus on France for the first step, and launch a full version of Versity, a full immersive version of Versity next year. So that basically is the introduction to our Versity project. Probably in terms of parcel, just probably when I do AMA, it's always the same question, so I try to anticipate and give you some information on that. So the parcel, you will say, you would tell me that, what the price will be, and how much parcels you're gonna sell, and is there any different categories? So we divided the parcels. We did a valuation of every land based on some variables that are the average price on this on the postal code linked to this parcel, the number of apartments or house sold last year, and the population of this area, and etc. So, and we divided. We had a value for every land, every parcel, and we divided those parcels in 10 categories. And the cheapest categories will begin at $100, and the more expensive would be will be much more expensive. But we will sell it through a double way, on auction or on a defined price. So of course we will have a beginning price. We do auctions, and we will define buy immediately price, which would be more expensive than the auction the beginning of auction price. But but you can buy it immediately. So I think I give you the basic information you probably need. Mark, I don't know if you have any questions. It would be interesting to have a video. Yes. Nargis, are you here? Nargis is working with me in my team. She's working on. Nargis, are you here? No.
What is? Are you looking for videos?
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Let's. If you have, I cannot see her, so she probably left, or she's not here then. Anyway, no Mark, if you have any questions.
Obviously, I've definitely got questions. Obviously, you've given us a super thorough introduction to your project, your token, and what it stands for. Obviously, you and I had a conversation ahead of this AMA and stuff, and that's why I was so excited. I want to get as many people on board, listening to this as possible. One of the main things that I was excited about was the NFT element, and we talk a lot in this space about passive income, and it feels like this is a massive opportunity for that. But before we get into the project and the NFTs and the metaverse side of things, I just want to go back quickly to your team, because obviously you mentioned that you've got extensive real world experience and stuff, and how you can translate that into this metaverse project. How many people are working on this full time?
Probably I need to present you the team of Les Agences de Papa. So we are not a startup anymore. So we are a very structured company with a marketing team, with IT team, with financial team, legal team, sales team, etc. And we are using we took many of our the person that is working in the company into this project. So basically, I would say there are now. I would say now, but it's August, and so it's vacation time. Many people are on vacation, but we're about 15% working on this project, plus all the advisors and the partners we have that is working on not full time but regularly with us on different kind of projects. So we do have, for example, a team of developers, Web3 specialized developers that are our partners and that are working currently on the marketplace for the NFTs. And also the smart contract for the NFTs. We also have partners that help us to define all the tokenomics and all the what we call the parcel economy. So we did a lot of simulation, the calculation, and we needed a very specialized team. So we had them and to help us. We worked with marketing specialists for Web3, as we have a very good team in classical, I would say classical marketing, but we need some help in Web3 parts. So it's a lot of people working on this project. At one time, just during just before the first round of the FCO, there were 50 people working on this project in the same time.
And out of those people, is the core team now, are they split between the two businesses then, and are these split as separate entities?
Actually, it's in the same entity. So Versity is a project within Les Agences de Papa. So our team is shared between the traditional, I would say, the traditional business and the Versity project. But for the Versity project, we have dedicated team that is 100% on Versity project. So we took them off from the traditional business, and we specialize them because it's a huge project and we need full-time people, and we put them on the Versity project.
Perfect. Yeah, you've obviously got a super experienced team, and it's great that you can pull from your existing business to work on this as well. So let's talk about the project itself then, and in terms of this metaverse and mapping the real world and stuff. Obviously, you said you're going to share some videos so we can add that to our TG so people can have a look at what that looks like visually. But how does that work in practice? Like, how do you actually map like France?
We are the beta version. We're based on the 3D imaging, satellite 3D imaging. So we use a satellite image, and we with image treatment we can transform them in 3Ds. That's I would say the first step. And we will have a decent quality in terms of design, but it's not the best quality we will have. And we will ask the community to help us to ameliorate the quality of the image, and we will give remunerations to all the people that will be interested to ameliorate the design of the buildings and the streets and that. So it's a two-step work. The first step we will do using those as I said the 3D mapping. Then we will ask the community to help us to ameliorate that. and that's for the exterior. For the interior, it's another way we do that. We have three possibilities for the inside of your real estate. We can we can do the first way. We can take pictures. So you take pictures of your apartment and you send us the pictures. We work with a partner that is specialized in transforming pictures into 3D. So they do that in an industrial level. Basic only on pictures, they can transform it in 3D. So that's a way. A second way is to for those persons who can have a function called LiDAR technology. That's a laser on your mobile phone. You can directly scan all your apartment with this some free applications. You can scan fully your apartment with this LiDAR and transform it directly into 3Ds. And you send us the file. We clean this file and we can put the 3D of the 3D version of this apartment directly on Versity. And there is the last things we can do for those persons who are not familiar, who don't want to use the telephone, who don't have the technology on the telephone, who don't want to take pictures. We can send people directly. Today, many real estate agents send you a professional photographer, and you will arrive to your apartment and scan for you the apartment in 3D, and that costs only 100 to 100 in France. I don't know where any other place, but in France it's about it's between $100 to $200 to do that, to have a professionals to come to your place and to scan the apartment in 3D. So basically that's the way we're doing it.
Okay, cool. Yep. Makes sense. So that I guess that's for people that are looking to sell their properties as is within the metaverse and stuff. And something we spoke about previously was the ability for property developers, new developers who are building bigger sites to use this as well. So do you want to take us through that as well, those opportunities?
Yeah, that's even easier. What you need to understand for those who are not very familiar with the property developers, today all the property developers has already modeled every project in 3Ds to follow up the building process. They use professional software called the BIM, B-I-M, and but for the moment they use like a tool that to help them to manage the project. But what we do now, and we already tested, we can just import fully the BIM into the metaverse, and then we just to add the design, like the color of the wall or to design the apartment, then we can just directly have the future project already in the metaverse, as if it's already built. So you can we've been talking to many developers here in France, and they're really excited about that, because it will be the first solution to offer them, because today they have what videos, or for the best of them some 3D imaging videos of the future properties and with pictures, but it will be the first solution to give them the possibility to show to their potential client the future apartment as if they are visiting it for real. Whereas in the real world, of course, it's sometimes it's only a piece of land without nothing on that.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see the appeal for property developers wanting to come in and showcase their range a lot more visually to attract buyers and stuff. But also from a buyer's point of view, it's nice for them to be able to, like you say, act like they're walking around their actual like little street or village or something, rather than just looking at a 2D image of a flat piece of land with what looks like an aerial view of a house on top and stuff. So I can see that having massive appeal. And like you say, it's not being done at the moment, is it? Nothing like this is available.
And the technology is already available. We need to just to merge the metaverse with those already available technologies. And we have in the team of our advisor, we have one of the biggest commercial property developers in France, and they say that it will be great for them for commercial property. So like malls and the company who want to set up their stores in their malls can already visualize the how it will be, even if the mall is not constructed yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah, it's all sounding really good. So from an investor's point of view, obviously somebody that's looking to invest in your token right now, and this, the potential of your NFT range. Like I said before, this is the thing that really excites me about the opportunity from an investor's point of view. So can I just understand a few more details of this? So you mentioned that everything within your ecosystem is bought through your native token. So when these parcels of land go on sale in October, November time, will they also be bought in your native token?
I think the basic idea is to at least for them to have some token. We will provide some advantage for those who are using token. We don't want to limit, of course, if you are someone who want to buy a piece of land, you want to you have I don't know bitcoins and you want to use bitcoins, you will be able. But if you buy it with our tokens, you will have advantages in terms of price and in terms of the efficiency of the auction. I would say I don't know how to say that, but the basic idea is to encourage to people using our tokens doing the purchase.
Yes. Okay. And so obviously you're starting in France, and the whole of France is mapped by postcodes, and each individual NFT represents a different postcode. So you've mentioned, I know this on looking at your white paper, there's different levels from, is it 1 to 10 or
yes,
1 to 100?
It's 1 to 10. 1 to 10.
1 to 10. 1 to 10. Okay. And then we're looking at a start price of about $100, and then they get more rare. There's more opportunities, so they go up a lot. And there's going to be an auction element. So
yeah,
how does that look? Is that like on your own platform? Or are you using something?
Yeah, we are using. We are working with one of the biggest players here in France in blockchain development, technology development, and they are helping us to build our own platform based on the already the platform that is already being used for other projects. So they developed a framework of this platform, and they will adapt the platform to our requirements. What the advantage of that is that the platform is very secure. So because that's a key element of a marketplace, it's the security of the marketplace. So because it was broadly used and secured. But on the other, and it's time gaining, so we don't need to rebuild the wheels. But on the other hand, we can adapt the platform to our own requirements with our own smart contracts. So that's why they need to customize the basic product they have to adapt to our requirements.
Okay, and how would that actually look in an auction format? Is it like eBay style, where you have a starting bid and a buy now price, and then
Yeah.
see how it goes? And how long does that auction process take?
Yes, we haven't decided on the time frame. That is, it probably will be could be few hours or like 24 hours.
Okay.
That's up to us to decide, and we will decide it in September. But the basic idea is like as you said, the eBay. So you can just auction, or you can buy it with a defined price, which is more expensive, but you are sure to get your NFT, the parcel you want.
Yep. Okay. So the NFT itself, it is that parcel of land is obviously, if I buy that parcel of land, it's then mine and stuff. Do you, as a business, as a platform, get like estate agents, insurance providers within the whole platform, and then I earn like a service fee from each element, or is it me that's supposed to go out and get those services to advertise within my parcel?
You can do it, but we already have many partners already ready to join us, like as you mentioned, insurance company, banks, even supermarket chains. So they will be doing some kind. It's like an ad for them to doing that. So they are really waiting to be able to join us and to be able to provide the services within the metaverse. But as the owner of the NFTs, you will be also be able to browse some other service provider. Any service provider, if you have an idea of business, the spirit of Versity will be an open market spirit. So if you have a good idea, and if you think that this idea could have your customers on Versity, you are very welcome.
Okay, cool. So you've got both options there. How does the revenue split look? Because presumably, say let's take your business for example, online estate agents. They'll pay a fee to come onto the platform and stuff. How does the revenue split look for the landowner and for Versity?
I cannot give you the details, but it's the biggest part by far is for the owner of the parcel, and we will take a small shares of the transaction only.
Okay, and is it purely like advertising revenue? So if an online estate agent comes on, they sell a property on your NFT land.
Yes.
Will they get their, say like you, it's €2,000 to sell a property? That's what they earn, and as a landowner, you earn just the fee for advertising in the first place.
Well, the fee will be at least in the beginning only the advertising fees, because we thought about the possibilities to directly sell the properties, for example, on chain, and for legal reason, for the moment, it's not possible. But we hope one day it will be possible, and we'll be the first, the most happy to be able to sell directly on chain. But that's not possible. So basically, we are talking about advertising fees for the moment. So if I may, it's like a Rightmove 3.0, right? So the fees will be similar to what you pay when you want to list your apartment on Rightmove in the UK, or Zillow in the US, or Sologer in France. So that's the first step of the business model. And once the legal framework will allow us to do more, we will of course do more.
Cool. Okay, yeah, sounds good. I guess this all rests basically then on mass adoption, doesn't it? The more people that are using the platform, the more people that want to advertise in space,
absolutely.
The bigger
And we one of our main job beside providing the technical basis is to do marketing, and we will do a lot of marketing so that every person can, professionals and non-professional, will come to Versity, and the idea is to have more and more people using that. We even have what we call a visit to earn strategy, so people that can earn cities and keep coming, and we will provide a maximum support for people that want to do business on Versity and to earn money on Versity.
Okay. Yes, sounds like a good addition there. So moving on then. So obviously, I understand you've already raised a super impressive 4.1 million at private stage, and you've had your first of 5 ICOs. Just looking at the 4.1 million, can you give any more information on that in terms of who your investors are? Because presumably some of these are venture capitals or partner businesses potentially within your metaverse.
There's different categories of persons who invested. The first category is, as I told you, we are a listed company, so we have a lot of large investors, large shareholders, and they invested also in the cities, and we also have professionals who is in the real estate, who is in other field as well, that could be that are really excited to be user of the Versity, and they invested. We have property developers, for example, who invested in the pre-sale. We have an insurance company, not the company, but the owner of the insurance company, who invested in the pre-sales, and we have some professional investors who also invested in the pre-sales. But okay, those professional investors are like more also shareholders of the company.
Right. Okay. Well, that's super encouraging as well, because one of the things that excited me was the fact that you're not just creating this metaverse and hoping that businesses will come on board and advertise and come onto your platform and stuff, but you have your business already lined up, ready to, implement within this metaverse. And
absolutely, we'll be at the beginning. We will put thousands of properties that we currently has a mandate to sell on metaverse. We will have a very important numbers of property property developers project directly on metaverse straight at the beginning.
Cool. Yeah. Perfect. And with you having these partnership elements and stuff, and people invested personally, owners of these types of partners, is great, because you know that they're likely to come on board soon afterwards as well. So that's kind of
we are sure they will be. They are even, some of them are more exciting than us in this project.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely good to hear. So we've had the first of 5 ICOs. You raised just under 700,000. You've got another 4 to go. So anybody that's interested in investing in your next ICO, where's that taking place? How can they invest?
They can go directly to our website. We have our own platform, ICO platforms. Directly, there is a link on the website. So website is Versity, VERSITY.eo, and they can just click in. There is a KYC, of course, like every ICOs. For our KYC is quick, but it's very. We will be very. We are a listed company, so we are very careful in terms of KYC. So
sure.
Even it's boring or sometimes that bothers some people, you need to do the KYC, and then you can pay through the major talk major cryptos, or with your credit card, or by wire transfer. So many possible ways. You can pay only in US dollars or in euros. However, you can pay in other money. So it's quite easy to do, and we did some change since the first round, because we took all the feedbacks on the quality of the user experience, and we did some change and the second one will be even easier to use.
Okay, and have you got a date set for this round?
Not yet. It will be in September, but the thing is, in France, it's the period of year where most of the people are on vacation, and we will decide at the end of the month, beginning of September, the exact date of our launch, once we have all the teams back to work.
Okay, fair enough. And this round two, so I'm just looking now at your white paper in terms of the structure of the ICOs. So the first one was whitelist. Is the second one going to be public?
Yeah, the first one was lit. We had a limited number of whitelist only. So and for this round two, we will always have some. We will have some whitelist as well, but limited. And most of the people who bought in the first round were not whitelisted. Okay. No, most of them had the whitelist, and some of them after when whitelist finished, the remaining part was bought by other people. For the round two, we will have less whitelist and more people who doesn't have whitelist.
Okay, fair enough. And is everybody open to the opportunity to purchase at all rounds? Because I noticed that you had a min and max buy for each one.
Yeah, you have a min buy and max buy, and we increased the max buy because decreased the min buy for the round two compared to round one. And not everybody can buy. We have some countries that couldn't buy. If you are a US citizen, you cannot buy for legal reasons. Sure. And some other countries you cannot buy for legal reasons as well. But most of the people can buy actually, but except those specific countries, you cannot. And when you do your KYC, you will know if you can buy or not.
Okay. Yeah, fine. And just for anybody that is listening is interested in investing, looking at this, you've got different minimum amounts. So round two that's coming up in September, minimum contribution is $500, and that goes down to $100 by round five. So depending on your circumstances, you might want to invest at different stages. And also the vesting schedule is different, isn't it, for each ICO round? So the next one coming up is you get 15% on launch. Is that correct? Yeah. And then there's a 2-month lock and vested. The rest is vested
12 months. Yes.
Okay, cool. And then by round five,
the more and 4 months vesting.
Yeah.
And no lock.
Okay. So based on your circumstances and what you're looking to do will determine at which stage you want to enter this. So I understand that also as well at round one, some people got an NFT.
Yes, for all the people who buy the first round, they have one airdrop of an NFT. And if they bought more than $10,000, they had 2 airdrop NFTs. And for round two, we will do for a portion for the first comers airdrop NFTs, but not for everyone, unlike the first round.
Okay. Have you decided how many people will receive an NFT?
Yes, but I will not tell it now. It's for marketing.
Okay, fair enough. Right, that's fine. So basically if people want to invest and they want to get an NFT, then they better get in there quick. How does that NFT look? Is it one of like your basic ones, I presume?
No, it's it's it could be anyone. So if you're lucky, you can the most expensive one.
Okay, so it's like randomized then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. That sounds good. And then a general question for you then. So, based on the current market and the looming recession, official recession, and how that can affect obviously the housing market and stuff, how do you see that affecting your entire business, basically?
Actually, it's an opportunity. As always, it's in period of in period of the market go. You know, the when market is good, you can sell your house very easily. It's not a problem. You want to pay more. Okay, you are ready to pay because it doesn't matter because you will save. In a time of difficult market, when you can make economy, you can sell it in the most efficient way. And especially with a low price or low cost, I would say, then it seems very interesting. And beside that, the real estate market, even in a period of economic crisis, which is not the case yet, it will always exist. It's in every country. It's the biggest part of the GDP of every country. So real estate will always be here. But the thing is, the way we sell real estate hasn't changed for quite a long time. The last time we had the kind of revolution for real estate transaction was the first portal came. Because before that, so at the beginning of the internet era, before that, everybody was looking for newspapers and looking for advertising for apartments to sell, or go to directly on the to see what in a real estate agent, what kind of real apartment they have, and going to several different to have a view. Then came the portals. Well, you can centralize everything, like Rightmove, Zillow, and that was 20 years ago. And since then, nothing changed. And I strongly believe that we are now at the right time with the right technology to go to the next level and to change the way the real estate transaction is done by giving these tools of metaverse with all the tools of Web3 and that's the best way to merge the Web3 tools and the real world, the business.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I totally agree with that. The technology is available now. It's about people coming into the space and from the real world, in inverted commas, like yourself, who can adapt it and make it work now before this mass adoption comes in. Those, first to the market become the leaders in the market as well.
Absolutely. And also there's a very specific things about our ICO, because I remember the figures, the basic figures we had. We were able to bring many people who never bought a crypto before into an ICO, because many people, I would say most of the people who, 2/3 of the people who bought our city was newcomers to this world. So it's also important for us to bring people that heard about cryptos, that heard about Web3, that heard about those metaverse words everywhere. They didn't know, they didn't understand what this new world can bring them. And with our new project, we those people can link to because they can link to something they know, something very basic they know. They did the first step, so many of them even doesn't have a wallet, so they did that without a wallet.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in fairness, I've told a few contacts outside of the crypto world as well about your project and stuff, because I feel like it is something people, your types of projects are the ones that will bring in new people to crypto and stuff, because it's not just people use metaverse, and we always joke about it in our community. Oh, I'm creating a metaverse, and it's just unrealistic. It's ridiculous. They've got a $20,000 budget. They're just using it as a buzzword, and that's the problem as well. It's the same with NFTs and stuff. They're used in the wrong context, and then the value is diminished. Whereas if you can bring some real world utility to these elements, then it brings it back to what it should be. So yeah, no,
yes, very true.
Yeah, couple of basic points. So you're launching on Polygon, aren't you?
Yes, we are launching on Polygon. To be honest with you, now that we have a date for Ethereum 2, I'm hesitating now. I'm hesitating now. We still have the time to switch if we want from Polygon to Ethereum. Once the merge is done. For the moment, we stick to Polygon, and we'll in 2 weeks we'll have discussions, interview, and with some professional or advisors to talk about the possibilities or the alternative of switching to Ethereum.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's happening, planned in for mid-September, isn't it? So you should have the time to be able to switch if
we
you
do have
need
plenty of time for to change that.
Because ideally, when are you looking to launch the token?
Right after the end of the last round of the ICO, so it's probably I would say in October.
September, October, and the NFT range will be shortly after that. Then. Yeah,
because we need to first to finish to have the marketplace ready. Then we need to have the tokens available. so that's
sure. Yeah, cool. And then post-launch, then what have you got lined up in terms of marketing?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
After you've launched the token, what are your plans in terms of marketing?
We will market the NFT. So that's we have a quite important budget for the marketing for the ICO. Because we do marketing not only for the crypto community but also for the others. So we will do a lot of marketing to the broader public, and we will do the same for the NFTs. So we take a share of the marketing budget for the crypto, and even bigger share for the non-crypto world in terms of marketing, because we know that our project is appealing to most of the people and not only the crypto community.
Sure. Yep. And then your metaverse, when will you mentioned next year? Like, how soon can we expect that to be ready?
The beta, which is what the Web3 portals, the beta version of the Web3 portals will be. We would like to launch that at the end of this year, and the immersive version of the metaverse that give you the full possibility, as I explained, will be next year.
But obviously you don't want to tie down to a date and stuff.
Because it's a huge work. It's a huge work to do that. and we probably need several months again to additional months to be able to have something good enough to be online. But we will do a better version that can already be used by user listing the apartment for the end of this year.
Okay, yeah, no, that sounds good. It feels like you're flying, considering your real world business is only 2 years old. This is
well, I
impressive.
think we are quite fast, I would say, in our business. You know, we went public just 1.5 years after the creation of the company, and we raised before the project. We already raised 13 million euros, and because we want to develop quickly, and we are currently doing a very important capital raise through strategic investors that will help again to develop Versity in addition to the ICO. So we are actually we plan to finish this capital raise at the end of July, but we didn't finish it, but we are still working on it, and I think very soon we'll be able to announce to the market that we have new strong shareholders coming in the company.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good. And obviously you're starting this in France. Like it ideally, how quickly would you like to scale this out to neighboring countries, and obviously presumably worldwide eventually?
We already have discussions with investors that are interested to buy the full country from us. That is, they want to buy. I don't want to give country's name, but like you are in the UK, I will use the example of UK. Okay, I'm ready to buy all UK and develop Versity for you, the UK, and I want to resell the NFTs by myself. So we have several countries that are already calling us but it's too early. We want to make sure that the product is as good as we marketed it. We don't want to rush. Even if we are fast, we don't want to rush. We need to have a good product, and if the product is good enough in France, then we know how to do it in other countries.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that makes sense. It's amazing that you've already got potential partners on board that can help you scale things out internationally, like super quick.
Yes, because we have some of them. Many of them comes from our strategic investors, and they know people in other countries to whom they talk to about the project, and especially investors in real estate are really interested in developing that in the country.
Yeah, nice.
And real estate is a such big business that you always have big investors in those fields.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, makes sense. Right, I'm conscious of time, and I want to open it up to a Q&A for people that do have any questions. So there is one other question that we always like to ask here at the Legit Crypto Lounge. So for us, the long-term success can't exist without a clear vision from the team behind the project. So my final question to you is, at what point does Versity become a success to you personally?
I think if we can deliver the Versity, the metaverse Versity, as we plan, it will be a success, because we know, because we are real estate professionals, we are the first user of these tools, and we know that if we have these tools, it will be game changing. And we know that if we do that in France, we'll be able to do that in any country, or most of the country in the world, because the real estate market is almost the same in every country, with some small differences, of course, but the basic is always the same. If it works in France, it will work in the UK, it will work in Germany, it will work in Spain, wherever. So if we are able to deliver the Versity as we promise it will be, then it will be the game will be done.
The game will be done. Nice, I like it. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Before I end the recording, is there any other closing statements that you'd like to make? Anything that you feel that I've missed out?
No. I think the most important thing for me, and I already mentioned it, but I would like to re-emphasize it, is I really like all the opportunity of the Web3, and until our project, I didn't find enough real economy into the Web3, and for the Web3 to be able to change really the economy, you need to link to the real economy, and what we offer is linking the real economy to Web3.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll end the recording in a second so we can open up to a Q&A, but just want to say really appreciate you joining us for today's AMA and taking us through your real world project and stuff. It's great to have projects in like yourself who can, you know, are like potentially game changing ones. Like, it's really exciting to have projects like yours. So yeah, really appreciate you coming along.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be with you, and it's a pleasure to answer all the your question, and all the future questions I have.